Hey everyone! Hey, I thought I would share my delicious minestrone alla Genovese soup that I love to make on a regular basis. And it's a cold day in Virginia Beach, so I thought I'd just share this with you live today. So I'm using my big extra large Dutch oven rock crock, which is this huge size. And when I make this soup, I double it so that I can just put it in some canning jars, fill it about this much to the top, and then I freeze it. And I always have great soup to eat during lunch. So I'm going to teach you some my soup tricks today, really quick. I'm using the rock crock, and the cool thing about this is this actually can be, you can use it on your stove, you can use it inside your microwave, you can put it on the grill, you can put it in the refrigerator, in your oven, and in the dishwasher, so it really travels all over the place, and I absolutely love it. And the reason why it's so cool is that it really combines the flavors very nicely for soup. So you can kind of see, here let me tip this down a little bit, you can see it's a very large pot, and I have a gas range that I'm using it on. So anyway, I've already, here we go. I've already added the Holy Trinity, onions, carrots, and celery. Chop that up, put that in there, and also there's a whole pound of hot sausage in this. So I used this lovely mix and chop to chop up the sausage. Everybody knows this. Who likes this? Yay! So anyway, chop that all up, and it's been simmering for about 10 minutes. So what I need to do next is just add all the other ingredients. And as you can see from this recipe, there's a lot of ingredients, but is it worth it? Absolutely. And the reason why I love this recipe is that it uses up all the ingredients that I have laying around in my refrigerator, like leftover peppers and then, things that are celery, cabbage that can be in there for a long time. So this is a really healthy, great, lovely recipe that you're going to like. All right, so what I have to do now is I'm going to go ahead and add the tomatoes. And this is just a can of tomato juice. My husband does not like tomatoes that are real chunky. So I just went ahead and put these are Roma tomatoes that are peeled, and I put them in this colander, and then I smashed them up. So I'm just going to pop that in there into a pulp so that they're not real chunky in the stew. Okay, in the soup. All right, and that's our colander and our stainless steel bowl. The next thing I'm going to add is I've already chopped up some wonderful red cabbage. The more color in vegetables, the better it is for you. So let's go ahead and throw that in. And this is some fresh spinach. I'm just going to go ahead and toss that in. And I love these little cutting boards because they make everything so much easier. Stir it up, stir it up, stir it up. As you can see, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And now I have to add some broth. And I like to buy the unsalted broth. This is unsalted beef broth. Hey, and here's a little trick. I threw so many of these things away because now the new ones, they actually open this for you. So when you open it, you could say, oh, the little foil is broken. It does that when you open it. So anyway, let's put that in. And again, and then I'm going to add 4 cups of water. Let's go ahead and put that in here. Whoa, here we go. Lovely, and this is filling this rock crock right up to the top. All right, here we go. Almost done. All right. Next, we're going to go ahead and drain out some, gotta have cannellini beans because that's very Italian. Cannellini beans, and the other thing I wanted to show you, these are the peeled tomatoes. Wonderful. Okay, plum tomatoes. Italy. It's a nice Italian recipe. And I have to give credit to my friend Tammy, whose mother gave us this recipe, and she turned me on to this probably about 8 years ago. So thank you, Tammy. There we go. We'll put that in here. And let's drain the other one. And I love this little strainer, and it's good for beans and peas and olives and fruit. And it's a strainer with a handle. Okay, so cannellini beans, 2 cups going in, 2 cans, that is. Oh man, I'm almost all the way to the top of my bowl. Here, I'll tip it down so you can see it a little bit better. Ooh, yum, huh? There we go. And I'm going to add, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to finish it off now, okay? All right, here we go. All right, we are going to add some fresh parsley. And if you could see the parsley that I have, I just put it in some water. And you know, when you buy parsley, it seems like you get way, way more than you need. So what you can do, there's two different things you can do. You can put it in a cup of water and then cover it with a plastic bag and it'll stay in your refrigerator. But the other thing that you can do is you can just cut it off the stems, wash it real well, kind of ball it up in a ball, okay, with a little water in there from being wet from washing it. Ball it up and stick it in a Ziploc bag and squeeze out the air so it's in like a nice ball. So then what you can do is you can just pull out that frozen ball of parsley, shave off anything that you want. It really works great. So you always have fresh parsley because it's so much better than using the dried stuff, okay? So let's mix that up. Oh my gosh, look at all these delicious colors happening in here. And then it's going to need some, this goes in at the very end. Peas, all right, and that's 2 cups of peas. I'll put that in towards the end. Actually, no, I can put that in now. Yeah, sorry. We'll put that in right now. Okay, that's that. And I love these prep bowls too. These are the 2-cup prep bowls. Let's stir this up. And it calls for sage. And sage isn't something that I use all the time, but we're going to use it for this. And this is sage, and it's rubbed sage. And let's get that sage in there right now. It calls for a teaspoon. I'm doubling it. So let's put 2 teaspoons in there. All right, here's our sage. Even, 1, 2. Got it. And then we're going to crank in a little bit of pepper. Got to have pepper. Salt and pepper mill. Love these too. And good fresh pepper is so important. And Himalayan sea salt. If you haven't discovered that yet, amazing. All right, let's get that in here. And here's some salt. And because I use no salt broth, don't put too much in because it's better to salt your food afterwards, because when you buy food, soups that are already pre-made, they're just full of salt. So you don't need a whole lot, and it's better just to go ahead and salt it when you're eating it, because you'll end up eating a lot less salt, which is better for you. All right, so we've got all that, and now this just has to cook down. I'm going to bring it to a boil and then let it simmer for about 30 minutes. Yum! And then what's going to happen is I'm going to add pesto. And actually, my daughter and I, hey Jess, my daughter and I made this pesto last year and had it frozen. So this is fresh pesto. Wonderful. I'm going to add that about the last 10 minutes of cooking. And I'm also going to add, this is a little special ingredient that I like to do, is we're going to put some wine in here. Ooh. And have to say thank you to my Italian friends for getting the Chianti. And we'll go ahead and open that right now and have to crack that open for the rest of it. Oh, let me get this. There's our wine bottle opener. I love this thing. All right, down it goes. Up it goes. Out it goes. Yay! All right, so we're going to put 4 tablespoons of wine in this. And I'm going to put that toward the end too, not right away, because I want the flavors to, I don't want it to all cook out. So the pesto, the wine, and here's my secret ingredient, okay? This calls for, it actually calls for rice or ditalini pasta, but I don't like to put that in my minestrone because it gets mushy and the pasta gets mushy. So I substitute this with quinoa. So I just rinsed out some quinoa. I used a half a cup of quinoa, rinse it out, and then I will put this in about the last 20 minutes and just let it cook down. And the cool thing about quinoa, it's got a lot of protein, it's better for you, and it adds a little, kind of like a little crunch. But when you see the little tails and the quinoa up here, you know it's done. So instead of pasta, try quinoa in your minestrone. So thanks everybody for coming, and hope you have you enjoy my minestrone soup. I'll post some pictures of my prep, and hope you like the minestrone soup. I'll put the recipe out too. And thanks Tammy and her mom for providing this great recipe for us. Bye.